What's happening, ladies and gentlemen and non-binary folk? Commander Chef here. It is my pleasure to welcome you back to another episode of the Forerunners podcast. I know all of you are anxious to hear about the death of Taurus, but before I turn the mic over to Bjorn and his crew, let me just remind you that this episode is sponsored by Seaman. Get yours today. Now please enjoy this episode, faggots.
Alright, well, thank you so much for that introduction, Commander-Chief. It's always a huge honor to have the leader of the Forerunners involve himself with this little podcast project. So I'd like to extend a warm thank you to you. And welcome back, everybody. As you know, I am Bjørnstjerne Bjørnson. I am from the Telemark division of the Forerunners in Norway. And yes, I am just welcoming you back to this episode of the Forerunners podcast, which, as you all know, will be revolving mostly around one thing, and that's the fact that our brave troops actually took down Taurus yesterday. So, yeah, there will be different stories about that. And also, of course, I finally secured an interview with Aladar himself, so he will be dropping by the studio any moment now, which I can only hope will be an absolutely fantastic thing, because as I understand, he was there on the scene when they murdered Taurus, and might even have some juicy details for us. So you guys can look forward to that. And yes, I actually didn't know we had a sponsor, but I guess that Commander-Chief could actually secure them through some means that are, just unbeknownst to me. I am just a simple, podcaster. I try to get the news out. I try to talk to you guys, and maybe ultimately boost the morale of this fine moderating squad. So yeah, I am really glad that you've all tuned in, because the program we have today is an absolute blinder. And first, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about. Have you heard that this is obviously just a rumor for the time being, but you hear what you hear when you pass through the halls of the Forerunner race. So I'm really just reporting speech as I hear it from you guys when you pass me, and when you stand still, and when you talk at lunch and stuff. But rumor has it that two of our finest moderators have begun dating, or at least that's what I've been told from numerous sources. I wouldn't say that any of them are extremely credible or whatever, but well, there has been accounts of these two members of the squad maybe standing still with their avatars, or maybe even like touching their avatars and stuff, which I mean is basically the moderating equivalent of kissing. And I think it's just such a huge win for love. For love itself, that it can actually blossom at a time where the Vindicated are just fragging people left and right, which actually brings me on to the next segment of the show, which is not as fun, considering not everyone made it out alive from the ambush that ultimately ended up killing Taurus. We'd like to here at the podcast actually extend a very, 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 very deep condolences to the family of Skanky Asshole MLG, because she was reportedly she was taken out by a sniper bullet from the villain known as Delta, and yes, she did succumb to her wounds, which means she has now been banned, and there are no reports of her being able to afford a new Xbox. So the Forerunners lost a very valuable member, actually, and if you'd like, there's a memory service for her, a memorial service, I should say, and it's taken place in the canteen at I think it's 3 p.m. Northeastern Standard Time. Is that a thing? No. Well, we'll have to get on finding out more about that. But from here, it will just like to say a huge F for you, Skanky has MLG. She actually helped me with some reports back in the day when I was just an aspiring journalist. And yes, so I will be missing her very, very much. And I think if anyone had the power to actually bring her back, they should, you know, get their feet out of their ass or whatever and actually do it, because she was such a great person. And the privilege to know her. So, yeah. It's not because the show should be brought down to some sorrow level or whatever, but I think it's very important that we remember the fallen. There is only one way our heroes can find the motivation to keep battling on against the Vindicated, and that is to remember what they're fighting for. And speaking of battling the Vindicated, look who has just joined me in the studio. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Aladar, the hero of Halo. I would like to say a huge welcome to you, Aladar, and thank you so much for being here.
Well, you're very welcome, Bjorn. It's a pleasure to be here.
So, Aladar, I know the question on literally every moderator's mind is, how on earth did you manage to take out such a threat as Taurus?
Well, it's a team effort to take down such a threat, and it takes coordination, and it takes initiative, and it takes an energy sword to the back of the throat, which was basically what happened since I was busy kicking the ass of Delta, the little fucking cunt. I wasn't actually present for the execution of this plan. But I know that Dilo made me proud, and he did everything I told him to. Like he followed every instruction right down to the micro details, and that's why I ended up with a dead Taurus and a happy general.
And Aladar, what is next for the Forerunners now that we have taken down a huge part of the Vindicated?
Well, there'll be no time for vacation or leisure time, I'll tell you that much, because Delta's still out there. For some reason, he hacked a magical jetpack into the game just as I was about to kick his ass. But I know that evil never rests, which means the Forerunners can't either.
Wow, Aladar, that was really inspirational. I think I actually just got a little bit of goosebumps. Can you tell us about the strategy that you are formulating to eliminate the remainder of the Vindicated?
Well, not as such. The strategy that we're formulating is highly classified and currently only available to Chief and myself. But I can't tell you this. Within the month, there will be absolutely no Vindicated left on these Halo servers. That's the Aladar guarantee.
Well, that sounds absolutely fantastic, Aladar. And speaking of the Aladar guarantee, if you could quickly read this message from our sponsors, I would be very grateful.
I'm not reading that.
Oh, please, Aladar, it's just a simple sponsor message. It really helps us stay on the air.
Well, I'll respectfully refuse.
Well, Commander Chief sorta said you had to.
I'm gonna give that puff a piece of my mind. Fine. Give me the piece of paper.
Yeah, absolutely. It's right here. You just go ahead when you're ready.
Are you tired of Vindicated getting the upper hand on you? Are you missing the energy and vitamins to stay on top of your moderation game? Well, fret no more and try semen. Semen is vastly superior to titty milk, and it's absolutely free. Semen is great. Semen is mwah! Try semen today by jacking off a man. How the fuck is this a legitimate sponsor?
Thank you, Aladar. That will suffice. And a huge thank you to you for coming. I've really enjoyed doing this interview with you, and I feel much safer knowing that you and your team are out there kicking the ass of every Vindicated hacker who thinks that Loxon was a cool person.
Yeah, whatever. I gotta go talk to Chief. Bye.
Bye-bye, Aladar, and drive safely on your way home. So that was an interview with the greatest hero that online Halo has ever had. Wasn't that exciting, folks? I know that's kind of a rhetorical question when you're doing a podcast, but I imagine that you were on the edges of your seats through that entire ordeal. And with that, I think we can wrap up this episode of yet another great Forerunner podcast. Remember to stay safe, folks, and if you see something, say something. I guess that's obvious since you're all moderators, so you should actually know that already. But if we persevere and if we keep on doing the great work that we're doing, I'm sure that Aladar will be right about the Vindicated not being President Halo. And wouldn't that be great? We could all just, kick back and play custom games and maybe a little bit of firefight without being worried that some asshole with a frag ban is gonna come into our games and just, eject us and brick our Xboxes. I know that I would find that extremely comforting. So yes, tune back in next time we have an episode, and take care. Bye-bye.
Until he came back. 1 cell.